Hi everybody and welcome to my channel. So I recently was very fortunate to visit Beaden, a shop that carries troll beads in store and online. So of course I made a few purchases and I thought in this video I'd share with you my first picks on day one. And I think all but one of this group is still available. There's only one retired bead here. But honestly, if you're looking for retired beads, you should check out Beaden online as they have quite a bit of older pieces and limited editions like troll agates available. So as I share with you my new beads, I also want to show you some companion beads that I think will match well because I find that so helpful when you have to order online. All right, so after the longest intro ever, let's get started. This is the bead that I chose first, and it's called Flowers from the Heart. And honestly, it reminds me of sunflowers. Look at that pale pink base. You've got the yellow petals and then that orange center. And that shade of green that they use for the leaves is just perfect. And it's not like a solid green. Like, do you see how they actually added some details in those leaves? Just to give it a little bit of texture. They did such a fantastic job with this bead. So for me, it reminds me of sunflowers. And of course, that pale pink base instantly reminded me of some gemstones. And here it is next to the feldspar moonstone. And then as I move it down the rod, you can see that it also pulls in some nice yellow tones there. And here it is with a pink agate. To me, that pink is a little bit off. It definitely won't match. And it doesn't go with the whites either. It just needs some softer neutrals. So let's look at some companion beads now. You can see it has some warm tones, so it definitely falls into like this grouping right here. I'm not going to remember the names of all of these beads, so I'm just going to kind of quickly share with you some different ones so you can see how it contrasts with them. And in my opinion, it does not go with the blues at all. I think it's just definitely in that warm tone family. Here it is with a rod of some pink beads, and it does play nicely with some of those. I think the softer ones, like this one at the very end, that one looks really pretty together. Here it is with some of the aurora beads, and to me that doesn't quite work. So I'm just going to pull out some different charm rods here so you can see the comparison. And here it is with some whites, and this is what it looks like with white. I don't think it works as well, but I think it could work with the teichoic ice. And then here it is with some pastel beads. This one has some little bits of that same tone of pink, so that one might work as well. And here it is next to some gemstones. This is the ruby, ruby rock, rose amethyst, I believe, strawberry quartz, no, rose quartz, sorry, strawberry quartz. And look how pretty it looks even with some gray there. This is like a more gray ruby rock with a little bit of pink, and I think it looks really nice with that. And next up are some green gemstones, and I think it does bring out the leaf detail really pretty with those. Like, look how gorgeous that is, the prehnite there. And this one's a little bit brighter of a contrast, and then we go into more of the teal colors. Some little go rounds, and this one here is the faceted, I can't remember the name of it right now, but look how gorgeous that is together, even with that tiger's eye right next to it. Like, that combination really appeals to me. And then we have the sunstone and the garnet right there, and I think those two look really good together as well. The second bead that I picked out is Fantasy Orchids, and this one kind of has a little bit of a 70s aesthetic to it. It's got that rusty brown with the cream, and then to me the base is like a little bit of like a golden yellow. You can see the side profile, how it looks like it was just layered and layered, all that detail. And this one here, I was attracted to it from the moment it was released. They also released another bead that is a little bit brighter of an orange flower, but I was attracted to this one first. And it's just kind of also outlined in a chocolate brown. And I just thought it was just the glow. Like, it just has this really pretty glow about it. And it's going to be really fun to pair with some other beads. And just so you can see the comparison of these two together, like I think they could even go on the same bracelet design if they were spaced far enough apart. So here's how it looks with some different go rounds, and I thought it would match this tiger's eye, but it's just a little bit different. So it could work, but it would need to be spaced further apart. It looks gorgeous with this sunstone. And this sunstone is retired now. I don't know why they retired that one. And here it is next to the Copper Bubble Joy, I believe it's called, and then also the Savvy Salmon. So now let's take a look at some different charm rods. I'm just going to run it by really quickly here so you can see what it looks like with some of the fall and autumny colors that I have. And it's a little bit dressier than some of these quieter neutrals over here. But just to kind of give you a comparison, here is like the really old chocolate kit right beside it. And yeah, so there's going to be some fun combinations, but that's not quite doing it for me, to be honest with you. This combination's a little bit better because it also has some shimmer to it and some white, and I think it kind of pulls out that. And these are still available as well, so it looks nice with that combination. And let's see what else. Oh, over here, I thought that this little textured bead would look really good. So let's go back to the gemstones, and here it is with a few, and there's that gorgeous owl. I think that would work. And then these are my ambers, and I just don't quite think that works as well. But I do think it picks up the glitter beads really well, like this one here, and then even coming back to this goldstone, this older goldstone. And I also think there's a few combinations on here that will work out. You can see it with the flowers, look at it with the bird, sense of shimmer, and then some textured beads. My next pick is a gemstone, and this is the Jumbo Cat's Eye bead. And this is my very first jumbo bead. And I was actually a little surprised because I didn't think I would like them as much as I did when I saw these beads in store. My initial impression when these were first released is they looked a little bit out of place with some of the other glass beads. Let me show you the size comparison. But when I gave it a second look, I realized that it just kind of adds a little bit more dimension to a bracelet. And this cat's eye bead, you see the lines running kind of horizontal, and it even has some flash to it. This one really drew my attention. And I think it's going to be super versatile. Like, look at it with these autumn and fall colors, and then going into the creams. Of course, it's going to look nice with those. And sorry, I've got it off camera now. Here it is with the chocolate kit and that rusty colors. And then you can even pull in some of the darker browns and the greens, like so versatile. And a few more gemstones, and this is what it looks like with the amber. And I think it could work with the amber. I find amber a little bit tricky to design with, but I think it could work with that. And then let's go into some greens and some pinks here. Like, look how beautiful that is, just kind of combined in. I think it's absolutely gorgeous and highly versatile. This was not my first pick looking at the stock images, but I have no regrets. And then coming back to some of the earthier gemstones. Look at that red chalcedony with it. And then we're going into the brown tones. Of course, there's the cat's eye right there. I wanted to show you the comparison with that one. And there is the garnet at the very end. So sticking with the gemstones, I next picked out this round feldspar moonstone, and I think you're going to be able to see why I picked this one out. Look at that little sparkle, and then as I rotate it, there's a nice amount of flash in this one as well. And I wanted to share a comparison of the two that I have side by side. So my little go round has quite a bit more sparkle than this one. This one's got a nice amount of flash. This one I actually purchased pre-loved. And take a look at how nice they are together. So being that they're two different sizes, you can put them on the same bracelet and not having too much repetition if that's what you didn't like, or some people do like repetition. It's all beautiful. This is the very last bead that I picked up, and this one is called, I believe it's called DaylightBrilliance, and I believe it's from Black Friday 2016. Actually, I should look and see if there's a little date stamp on here. And as you can see, this one here, you've got the glitter on the edges and then the colors at the base, and it just has that really pretty watery effect to it. And I wasn't expecting to buy this one. It's never been on my radar, but when I saw how pretty it was with every other bead that I chose, it just seems to be like one of those beads that will match everything and be a nice companion. So let me put it together with all of the beads that I originally picked out. And do you see what I mean? Like, it just seems to kind of go with anything. It has that nice neutral base and that little bit of shimmer. So these are my day one first picks. And in my next Trollbeads video, I'll have even more items to share with you. If I miss showing any beads that you wanted to see, just leave me a comment below and I'll include it in my next video. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I hope you're all doing well. Take care. Bye-bye.